Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Hollowitz, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about Tony's Place. This is part 2 of this tutorial series on Tony's Place. And in the previous tutorial we went in and we did a lot of formatting. We just cleaned up the spreadsheet quite a bit just to make it look a little nicer. We added some totals to the amounts for this particular week at Tony's Place. And I suggested that you were trying to get a promotion from the manager to a regional manager, and you were being interviewed by the vice president of Tony's Place, and you wanted to get this job. So the vice president was asking you a series of questions about this, and one of the questions that was asked is, hey, wait a minute, this amount right here, this $1,928, that's not all that much. What happened? Why is that so bad? Because typically on a Monday here in this particular week in a college town, it's Monday Night Football, and usually sales, because of all the students, are well over $5,000. And you're sitting there and you don't have an answer to that question. Why are the sales so low on this particular Monday? So maybe they're thinking, well, maybe you quit early, or maybe, I don't know, maybe someone's stealing some money. Something's going on here. We need to know what it is. And this gets very serious. Now, the reality of the situation is this. On that particular Monday, it started snowing Monday afternoon, and by Monday evening there was a foot of snow on the ground, and you had to send your drivers home, and there really wasn't that much business to be had because of the bad snowstorm. But you don't remember that. So let me show you what you can do. I'm going to click in this cell. I could click in any cell I wanted here, but I'm going to click in this cell because it's going to be easiest to illustrate it. And I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go here where it says insert comment, and I'm going to click on that. A little yellow box pops up. Now this box I can make bigger or smaller. I can make it very wide, okay, or tall, and I can add all kinds of information in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply type in bad snowstorm, okay, close at 7. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm creating a comment, and I'm going to click away from this, and I want to draw your attention back to that cell with the 276 in it. And I want you to notice that up in the top right hand corner there's a little red triangle hugging the corner. Well, when I bring my pointer up on that cell, the comment automatically pops up. So if I was asked, why are my sales so low on that particular day? Well, there it is right there. We had a bad snowstorm, we had to close. That's why. Okay, so I've satisfied the vice president's question. They're okay with that. But let's say, for example, that they don't like me and they want to get or give this promotion to someone else. So in order then, rather than saying that to me and saying, well, I don't really like you, I don't want to give you the job or the promotion, they try to play a trick on me. And what they do is they say, listen, this is the thing. See this number right here? And then this number, and then this number, and then this number, and 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 this number. And I'm selecting a bunch of numbers. They say, listen, if you can add all those numbers up by the time I count to 3 in your head without using a calculator, I'll give you the promotion. If you know exactly what that adds up to, and you're like, 3 seconds? No problem. That would be 1,109. And the vice president looks at you like, oh my God, how do you know that? How did you get that number? Well, it's actually quite easy, and I want to draw your attention down here towards the bottom. See right down here, we have some numbers down here. The first number is the average of all those numbers I chose. The second is the count. I chose 9 of them, and the sum is 1,109. I'm seeing it right here below my pointer. So again, let me show that. What I did is I clicked the first cell, I held the control key down, and I just went through and clicked a bunch of random cells. And I said to the person, if you can add all these up within 3 seconds, the job is yours. And they looked at me and said, yep, it's $2,673, which is right down at the bottom below my arrow. So Excel has a lot of interesting little things you can do with it. Now, one of the things you might consider is, okay, what about that comment? How do I get rid of it? If I put the pointer over that and right click on that cell, I can go delete comment and it's gone. So these are just some simple little things that you can do in Excel that make working with it that much easier. And in this example, I just want to show you some clever little ways You can quickly add numbers together or add a comment in case you want to make a note to yourself going forward, because obviously comments are great because you have a lot of data in Excel and you might on occasion want to put a little note to yourself on how you got to that or something that's relevant to this spreadsheet. Use comments wherever you want. It's a great tool. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Hollowitz and I want to thank you for being here. Have a great day.